Hey, what's going on? Dr. Gonzo Boogie here again, back for another DVD and VHS update. And in this update, I actually have mostly DVDs to show, just one tape. And it's been 2 weeks since my last update, almost 2 weeks, I think. So over the past 2 weeks, I've acquired a lot of DVDs, and a lot of the stuff I picked up is just awesome. Some of the stuff I found here, I got really good deals on, but I found some really cool sets and special editions, so I'm excited to show you guys what I picked up. So I'm just going to get going here with the DVDs. First off, I picked up Psycho 2. This is the Scream Factory, Shout Factory release of this, and this is pretty cool. I actually saw this at FYE, brand new. They had it in the bargain section for like $5-6, so anybody who's looking to pick up a cool copy of Psycho 2 for cheap, definitely check FYE. And this is actually pretty cool. I had never seen Psycho 2 before I picked this up. I used to own the old Universal DVD of it, but for some reason, I never checked it out. But when I bought this, I was so happy with the way this looked. It just looks really nice. I just love everything about it. Scream Factory always does a great job with their DVD and, of course, their Blu-ray releases. But this was pretty good for a sequel. This was actually better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was kind of going to be like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, like way different than the original type sequel, but even though this movie didn't really rip off the original in any way, it didn't copy any of Hitchcock's shots much at all, and it didn't really rip off the first one or copy Hitchcock at all, which I thought was cool. It still held up as a good sequel. It wasn't one of the best horror sequels I've ever seen, and it didn't come anywhere close to being as good as the first one, but for being a horror sequel that came out 20 or plus years past the original one, it was pretty good. I would recommend it. Psycho 2. Right, next up is the Slumber Party Massacre collection. This is actually from Shout Factory, line 2, and this is pretty cool. This is part of the Roger Corman Cult Classics collection, and this I actually had been wanting to pick up. This is actually one of the ones on the top of my list for the Roger Corman Cult Classic collection by Shout Factory, so I was really glad when I found this. I actually found this at a used game and movie store that I live close to, and I got this for only like $5, so I thought that was a really good deal. The case was a little smashed up, where you can see right there the top is actually broken off, but other than that, it's in good condition. The discs are great, and the rest of the case is in nice condition too, so hopefully eventually I'll find a 2-disc clear case to switch this one out with, but really nice here. Got comes with Slumber Party Massacre 1, 2, and 3. I'd never seen any of these, but they look like cheesy slasher fun. From what I've heard, the first one is a little bit more serious, more of a straightforward slasher movie, and then the 2 sequels are very over the top. So just looking forward to checking these out. Slumber Party Massacre set, Shout Factory. Next up here is, this is a Midnight Movie 2-pack from MGM. This is The Raven and The Comedy of Terrors. Both of these are Roger Corman films, and both of these have Vincent Price, Boris Karloff, and Peter Lorre in it. So you get a lot of awesome classic horror actors in these movies, and these are just fun movies. I don't think I've ever seen The Comedy of Terrors. I might have watched it years ago when I used to have this DVD when I was in high school. But I've seen The Raven a couple times. I actually just rewatched it like a week ago when I bought this, and it's just a really fun, colorful 60s movie. You know, really cool Roger Corman film. When he was doing the Edgar Allan Poe movies for American International Pictures, those are kind of known as some of Roger Corman's best films. So they really are some of his better films. Just really good stuff. This is an awesome 2-pack here, though. Good stuff. Alright, and then this is a science fiction movie called The Philadelphia Experiment, and if you don't know, this is about the kind of myth or hoax or whatever it is about how I think it's like World War II, how the U.S. government was doing tests to make their ships invisible on radars and stuff like that, and with the technology they were using, they actually sent one of the ships through time accidentally. And when it came back, people were like, stuck in the machines and stuff. It was like, it's like, if you ever read into it, just search Philadelphia Experiment on Wikipedia, and it's pretty interesting, like type UFO almost like X-Files type subject, myth, urban legend thing. I think I always found it interesting. But this is actually a pretty good movie. This came out in 1984, and this is a movie about that. And I thought it was pretty good. It's about this one guy who gets caught, whatever his name is, Michael Parr or something like that. But he gets like caught. You know, he's one of the people who's on the ship, and it gets transported in the time. And it's supposed to, the movie starts out in 1943, and he gets transported into the 80s. So it's kind of like a love story between him and this girl he meets in the 80s, and it was pretty fun. I thought this was a pretty good movie. This is the Anchor Bay release. It's pretty cool. Philadelphia Experiment. Alright, next up here is Death Ship. I actually found this at this really cool store. This guy who has a comic book store that I live sort of around. My mother threw mine away. I've mentioned it in a couple of my videos before. He actually just recently opened up a store that just sells movies and records. It's like kind of down the street from his comic book shop. And I bought the Philadelphia Experiment there too, but I picked this one up when I was looking around at what he had, and he had a lot of interesting horror and sci-fi titles, so I wanted to pick a couple things up. So I picked this one up too. This is Death Ship. I haven't seen this yet, and I had never heard of it. I just thought it looked interesting, so I picked it up. What it looks like on the bag. This is from 1980. And I'm guessing it has something to do with like a ghost ship, like a, you know, something like that, haunted ship. So I sort of like stuff like that, so I'm interested in checking this one out. Death Ship, and this is from Scorpion Releases or something like that. I've actually never heard of this company that put out this DVD, but anyways, looks cool. If anybody's ever seen this or knows anything about it, let me know if it's any good. And then this was the last DVD that I picked up at that guy's DVD and record store, and it was The Lost World. This is actually a 2-pack, and it comes with the original 1925 black and white silent movie, The Lost World, and it also comes with the 1960s remake, The Lost World. And also, I think Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World, was in a way, a remake of the original Lost World too, so that's kind of what this story is about. It kind of, King Kong, I think, was heavily inspired off this. Basically, this movie, I haven't seen it in a while. I used to own this pack in high school, so I'm glad to rebuy it again. But from what I remember, it's kind of like the classic King Kong story. They go to a, island, and it's got some dinosaurs, and they bring back one of the dinosaurs, and it attacks the city. So it's pretty cool, just a classic classic monster story right here. Looking forward to checking both of these out. I actually don't think I've ever seen the 60s one, because back when I used to have this pack, I just bought it for the black and white one from 1925. So I've never seen the one from 1960, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. But this is a really nice 2-disc release of this, just a really nice looking DVD. Right, and then next up here, I actually got really lucky with these in a way. I found these at a Goodwill for $3 each, which I thought was a good deal, but the reason I think this is cool is just because I was never expecting to ever find these at a Goodwill, and this is Scanners 2 and Scanners 3 on DVD, which these are sequels to the David Cronenberg film Scanners, which is an awesome movie, way better than the sequels, even though I would have to say Scanners 2 The New Order is actually pretty good. I've seen all the Scanner sequels, and this is probably my favorite, along with Scanner Cop, which I would love to get Scanner Cop on DVD. But these are really cool. The one reason I was a little disappointed in these is they're Region 2, and I don't have a regional free DVD player. I don't have a DVD player that plays Region 2 DVDs, so I can't watch these right now, but I have them on tape. So I figured I'd buy them anyways, just because it's rare to find weird sequels like this at a thrift store. And who knows, maybe one of these days I'll pick up a region-free DVD player. I used to have one years ago. Again, back when I was in high school, I used to have a region-free DVD player, but something happened to it. I can't remember. And I don't have it anymore. So I wish I did, though, because I would love to watch really good DVD transfers of these. But again, just excited to find these anyways. These are nice, like, single disc releases, but they're nice in clear cases and everything. These are actually, I think, Dutch DVDs. I don't know, the subtitle is in Dutch, so whatever that means, But there it is. You got Scanners 2 and 3, really cool right here. Alright, next up here I actually have like 3 cool little set special edition things to show you guys. And first off is the Stanley Kubrick movie Spartacus. This is the Criterion edition of this. I actually found this at FYE used for like 14 bucks. I had traded in a couple things, so I was able to get this for really cheap without having to spend too much cash. And this is really cool. Actually, I used to own another copy of Spartacus. I know I keep talking about a lot of movies I used to own and stuff, but I used to own a like single disc edition of Spartacus like years ago, and I tried watching it because I'm a big Stanley Kubrick fan. 2001: A Space Odyssey, Clockwork Orange, The Shining, you know, those are some of my favorite movies ever. He's just one of the best directors in the world, like really, and you know, this is one I tried to get through, and it's just so long. This movie is like 3 hours long, and the subject isn't really something that I'm really big into, so it was hard for me to keep attention on the film and everything like that. So I actually never got around to finishing this movie, but I was actually just planning on rewatching all my Stanley Kubrick movies, so I figured I don't have Spartacus anymore, so I picked this up so I can start off with Spartacus. So looking forward to watching this one all the way through. And hopefully this time around I can get through the whole thing, because I love Stanley Kubrick's films, and this is one of his only films that I've never seen all the way through. So I've even seen Barry Lyndon all the way through, which that movie I thought was a little bit boring too, just because I'm just not really into the subject it's about. But it was still, you know, a great film, Stanley Kubrick. But Spartacus, 2-disc Criterion edition, really awesome here. Alright, next up here I actually picked up the 2-disc edition of Escape from New York. I thought this was pretty cool. One of my favorite John Carpenter movies here. And I was happy to find this. Nice little 2-disc collection here. I'll show you guys. It comes with a comic book, so I'll show you guys what that looks like. This is the inside. The artwork's decent on this. And it comes with the 2 discs right there. Pretty cool stuff. And then here is the comic book that it came with. Right here. And this is like John Carpenter's Snake Plissken Chronicle, something like that. So that's pretty cool. It's #1. And, you know, of course, it's like a mini comic that fits in the DVD and everything. But I just thought it was pretty cool that it came with this. And had some weird black and white pictures in here, too. So this is cool. Definitely going to read through this one of these days, probably when I'm getting ready to rewatch this. So I just thought that was cool. Glad it came with the comic book, because I got this one used at FYE, too. So it's cool. Escape from New York, 2-disc collection. Alright, next up here, this is probably the coolest thing I picked up over the past 2 weeks. I was really excited to find this. It was the same store that sells like used video games and DVDs that I go to. I picked up the Slumber Party Massacre set there. It's called Game Exchange. And I always look around at what they got, because you never know what to get, because people sell stuff there all the time. And I always check their box sets, too. That's where I found the Sleepaway Camp box set there, 4-disc version of it. I got it for real cheap. I also found the Dawn of the Dead Anchor Bay box set, which goes for a ton of money, and I found it there for cheap, too. So I always have good luck with box sets at this place, and I found this one, the Universal Monster, the Definitive Collection. This comes with Dracula, Frankenstein, and Wolfman, all in separate DVD cases, all really nice editions. And just really cool, and I love the Universal Monsters. They're some of my favorite classic black and white horror movies to watch. And I love these movies, but this pack is actually really rare. It's hard to find. Goes on eBay. I couldn't find it going for any cheaper than $30, $40, and brand new it was going for like $80 to $100. So just a rare set. Hard to find nowadays. And I was just glad to come across it, because I love picking up little sets like this. It was actually a little beat up in the corner here. Like, you know, this place sells used stuff, so, but, you know, for the most part, this was actually in good condition other than that. The discs and the cases were nice, and the rest of the box set is nice. So I don't know how whoever owned this before managed to fuck up the corner that bad, but what are you going to do? Other than that, I'm really excited about this. So this is a rare set, just really cool stuff. And then last here for the DVDs is X-Files Season 2. I actually just recently finished the first season of X-Files, and it was awesome. One of the coolest shows ever. I used to watch X-Files a little bit when I was younger, and I never got really big into it, but for some reason recently I had this like urge to just watch it for some reason. I just wanted to, and I bought the first season, and it was just awesome. One of the best shows I've seen in a while. So I went and picked up the second season. I got this one used actually in FYE for a pretty good price, and yeah, just looking forward to checking this out. I actually haven't watched anything from the second season yet, but the last episode of the first season left on a huge cliffhanger. So ever since I've been really wanting to know what happened. So probably gonna pop this in the next couple of days and start watching it. And then last here for the video, I just have one tape to show you guys, and it's The Elephant Man, which is a David Lynch film. Actually, one of my favorite films from him. This and Eraserhead, I think, are his two best movies, even though he has a lot of really cool movies. Just a very unique director, David Lynch, one of my favorites. And this is a very dark, disturbing movie, but at the same time, it's a good story about not belonging and wanting to belong and stuff like that. It's just a really, really deep story. If you've never seen The Elephant Man, I really don't want to ruin too much about it, but it's about a guy who's horribly deformed and just the things he had to go through throughout his life just to survive. You know, the things he went through are just horrible, and to be that way, it's just this is a very disturbing and scary film for being a drama. Just it deals with a lot of heavy subjects, and I love this movie. Just really good stuff. I actually don't have this on DVD right now, which is a shame, because this really is a great film, and I should put it right next to Eraserhead in my DVD collection. So one of these days I got to pick it up. I just haven't had good luck finding this on DVD. I've only seen it once, and I passed on it, and since then I haven't come across it in years on DVD. But this tape was kind of beat up, so I put it in one of these plastic VHS shell cases just to try to keep it together a little bit better. But this is awesome, so I'm definitely looking forward to watching this again. It's been probably like a year or two since I've seen The Elephant Man, but good stuff. And so that was the update for this week. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, definitely leave a comment or give a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.